Hey, good afternoon. Well, I was thinking that it might be apropos to share a brief story related to this cap that sits on my head. It's timely. It seems to be mapping up very closely with some lesson that I'm right squarely in the middle of. Yeah, so if you can't see it, it says Alcatraz, the rock. So a friend of mine from Molokai likes to send packages of things that he finds at the Goodwill there, and it's a random assortment of things. And a couple weeks ago, he sent a box, and it included about 12 hats, ski caps. I don't know who's wearing ski caps in Molokai, but they obviously are because there's a pile of them at the Goodwill. And so he sent 7 or 12 or however many of them. And one of them was this one. It was the only one I really liked. And at first I thought, this is ridiculous. I'm wearing a cap that says Alcatraz, the rock, that probably is something that you could get at the Alcatraz gift shop, right? That you were, if you went over on the ferry down in San Francisco to see Alcatraz, I think you can go to some part of it, but it's also like, all of a sudden I was like, oh, it's Escape from Alcatraz, which is a line that I had in my last missive, the last post I wrote on my website. I said last year, it was an escape from Alcatraz, which is an escape from some hell realms that I had been manifesting, that I had been imagining, and then therefore creating in my life, that weren't working, that weren't serving life, that weren't serving me, that they just weren't working. And what I was thinking about is that, like, I was in a confined set of ideas. I was holding on to a set of beliefs or ideas about myself, about my adequacy of self, about what I thought I needed or deserved or should or shouldn't do. A whole set of beliefs that were part of the architecture of this relationship that I had last year that was not life-serving, not for my life, ultimately. I was not living in my own rhythm. I wasn't following my instincts. There was a bunch of things I was doing in service to some other set of ideas that were fundamentally flawed. Like that I needed to be held, or I wasn't lovable, or a whole set of things. And so today, as I was walking through the woods, I noticed that I was wearing this hat, and I thought to myself, what I did is, like, I found the key to this jail cell that I had designed and put myself in, and was still in until recently. And I stuck my hand out of the bars, and I put that key right into the lock, and I undid it, and I opened it up, and I realized, wow, here I am, free. I'm out of the prison cell that I created, and the only person who could have gotten me out of it, the only key available, the only one, was in my pocket the whole time, deep down, stuck like in the back, way back. Didn't know it, couldn't have found it until I got the hat. No, until I went through what I needed to go through to discover, sort of like, Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, right? She thinks she's got to get home, and she's got these friends that are going to get home, and they're going to go to the Wizard of Oz, and he's going to get them home, and he's going to give the Tin Man a heart, and he's going to give the lion his courage, and he's going to give the scarecrow his brain. But, they had him all along. They had him right there. But you got to go on the journey. And the journey ends up being, can get pretty hairy at times. Wicked Witch of the West, all those monkeys, they were rascals, those monkeys. So, yeah, so I've been taking to wearing the hat as a celebration of having discovered the key to the jail cell at Alcatraz that I was stuck within. And one might ask, well, Lisa, what shall you be doing now that you have room to leave the cell, do other things, And I recognized that, yeah, that's it. I have some work to do to think about who I want to be if I'm not caught in old stories about who I was. I think one of the things that I know I want to do is I want to move to my own rhythm. I think a lot of us do. A rhythm that is innate, inherent to us. It's got a groove, a certain sort of rhythm, motion in life, how we like to move, how we like to do things, how we like to be, how we like to play, how we like to imagine, how we like to do work and all that jazz. And that we really kind of marinate in that for ourselves, and we allow ourselves that freedom. And then we move out in the world, and we see where we can find coherent flow with others. And it won't be with everybody. It'll be with some people, and those will be the people that we'll make music with now. And the music is love, ways of creating things together that are beautiful. It could be art. It could be projects that serve the neighborhood, the community. It could be feeding each other. It'll be a lot of things, but we'll be doing it in collaborative groups that have found each other to be able to do it very effortlessly. There won't be so much conflict. And while the world is escalating in its conflict in this outer realm, and things are collapsing and old forms are dying, and we're in the pit of it, this end game where war is at the maximum threat level. Underneath of that death spiral are these green shoots of life coming up. That is us, parts of everyone coming alive, sensing that we do want to live. Our innate nature, this killing thing, this is, who can have the largest set of missiles? And how can we continue to judge other people for their being, how different that they are from us? Everyone's doing it, these global players, and it's not even worth talking about. The point is, what's the antidote? The antidote is this just earliest stirrings in ourselves of wanting to live from a place of delight, lightness, vulnerability, tenderness. The tenderness is a way forward. It will be for me. Anyway, I can feel it. It's like the tenderness wants to lead. And then I will be sure to protect that tenderness. That's the sacred. But I will do it just by being a guardian, not by making anyone else wrong. I've said this before a few times. I'm working on it myself a lot. So that's the story of the hat I thought I would share. Yeah. Hoping to inspire others to consider that there's a key in your pocket, and that things around you that make it appear as if you are beholden or smaller than, or don't have power or authority in situations, Those are all mind games that we've told ourselves, that the world has told us. And the only way out of that one is not by taking the power from anyone else, but to source it from in here. You've got the key. The key is right in your pocket. So go find it. Join me. Let's gather outside the jail cells and experience collective joy, as Barbara Ehrenreich wrote about in her beautiful book about the history of collective joy, which I highly recommend. Let's gather again and experience collective joy. I call it forward, and so it may be. Blessings to everyone. I like that term, blessings to everyone. May we all be blessed, blessings. Sending you so much love. Be well.